Well, welcome along to another Sunday lunch, and we're looking at Speedway from a different perspective today. I'm John McGilvray.
Yeah, and my name's Liam Rudden, and we've got a great guest today. Getting Speedway from the other side of the track, if you like. As ever, I'm going to be keeping an eye on Facebook, as will John, and we'll be asking any questions you've been dying to ask for years of Willie Dishington. John.
Yeah, thanks, Liam. Willie, thank you for joining us. It's great to have you along. It's great to have a referee's perspective as well. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. A pleasure.
So how's life been for yourself? It's been a strange few months. What have you been doing to get yourself through it all?
Yeah, I was furloughed at work, so I've been off for 3 months. I've now been back about 5 weeks. So I was getting all the jobs round about the house done that you never get round to doing because you're either working or you're away to the Speedway. So I managed to get that done.
Right. The fence has never looked better. The grass has never looked better. It's been a strange thing. I think everyone's like that.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody's just catching up with all the jobs they were supposed to have done.
Willie, one of the questions we've asked all the boys when we've had them on is how they're kept match fit during the lockdown. What does that involve for the referee then? Have you managed to keep yourself fit during it?
Match fit the referee, you just browse through the rule book every now and again when you can. Bedtime reading, so say. That's really all you can do. And
that rule book's like you know that picture you see the guy standing at the whiteboard and it's all equations and formulas and all that, and you don't understand any of it. I think that's the Speedway rule book.
No, they've actually revamped it this year and it's a lot better than what it was. But obviously,
I remember, sorry, I was just go on, Willie.
No, I'm just saying, obviously we haven't been able to use it yet though this season.
I was just going to say that the last year, I think the first year that I worked with the club, I got handed one at the very beginning and I was told, have a read of this, you need to be up on it all before you get in that tower. Do you know what? It was worse than trying to sit my driving test. I was just sitting looking at all. How do you remember it all? I mean, can you remember it all? Is it just something you have to refer to during matches?
No, you just have to, as I say every week, you just have to reading it and reading things all the time because certain things will stick in your memory, but you can't take it all in. You just have to have like bullet points.
I remember working as the announcer for a few years. I think actually it was as you started, Willie. To remember you coming in and training with Jim McGregor, which will be a story I'm sure of its own. But you know the guys would have the rule book to hand, and you know there was not just one referee. They all kind of had a wee look and were like, "Oh, wait a minute here," because you know I suppose you've got that kind of leg up over football referees. They kind of pull the wee book out of the back pocket and go, "What was that again?" But you know there was plenty of referees that used it and to kind of back up any decisions they made.
Yeah, that would be true because there's no way you can remember all of it.
So how did you get started with the refereeing? Because you don't just referee Speedway, do you?
No, I started off refereeing football way back in 1996. I just went to sit the test for my mate. My mate had been hounding me because he had passed it, and I only wanted to do it to shut him up. And then I passed the test. I wasn't going to do anything, and then I got some phone calls to go and do some boys' matches. I didn't even have a strip or a whistle for it. So I did it, and I actually enjoyed it. So then from there, I just started taking on myself. I'm going to do it right, and I gave it a good bash, and I managed to get the senior list of football referees.
Well, you've obviously refereed at that kind of level as well, and every town's got the local nut jobs and stuff like that. You must have some stories from refereeing at that level.
Oh, you get the worst places to do is the junior football.
Ayrshire, by any chance?
No, but when I refereed the juniors, I only did the Central League, but it's changed now. The referees do all the matches.
I don't know if he's got a phone call. Who was it the other week had this? Liam had a phone call coming in when they were doing it on their phone.
Was that Willie, was it? No.
Oh, he was shouting on Chantel.
That you back with us?
There's somebody phoning you to tell you on the telly, Willie.
It was actually Grant Henderson trying to phone me.
So it was in the local nut jobs in the central region.
Yeah. And the worst guy that everybody will remember was the guy who supported Hamilton Accies was Fergie.
Oh, yeah.
When I first started, he used to do reserve league matches at the old Douglas Park, and he used to go as well, and he would be outside waiting on you when you came out.
Wow. I think that's one of the questions you'd had in, Liam. I think was it Lorraine Wells had mentioned this. And I suppose it's a good point to bring that in. Have you ever felt intimidated by a rider who's not agreed with one of your decisions? You know, have you ever been in a position you're like, I don't feel particularly at ease here?
No. I wouldn't be...
Local hard man, Willie Dishington?
No, I wouldn't say I would be intimidated by them, but most of them will tell you I'll always meet them after it and explain to them why I came to that decision or how I came to it, to give them my side of the story. But we're never always going to agree on everything.
I think that's a decent thing to do as well, Willie. You know, if you can say, look, you know, this is where I got it from. I didn't just exclude you because I felt like excluding you. I thought that this happened, that happened, and, you know, there's my side of the story. I think that's a decent thing to do. Yeah,
I always try and explain it to them, and then I just agree to disagree, but I'll still talk to them, I won't fall out with them. Then we're all in it together.
One of the rules that Graham Hunter is asking if you can explain, Willie, is can you explain the Heat 15 rule as it creates some confusion?
I'll not even reply to that one, but it involves a swear word.
It involved what, sorry?
A swear word.
Oh.
Right.
There's another question coming as well, which hopefully won't require a swear word, but Andrew Jeffrey's asking, can you ask Willie if he can remember my worldie in the Ricky Ashworth benefit meeting?
Remember it well. Ronaldo S.
Which one?
Yeah.
Go on, John. As you say, obviously you've started refereeing in the juniors, and it's taken you to the seniors as well, because you were part of a heartbreaking day for me, which I've spoke about in here before. We were talking about putting some promo out for you coming on, and the first thing Liam sends me is a picture of you holding the Scottish Cup at 2009, and I just about broke down in tears. I'm like, you know, was there a game where you felt the losing side, or you'll agree with me, was so brilliant that day and didn't win the cup? We played Rangers off the park that day, Willie. You could have put your flag up and gave us something, mate.
Well, I actually said to John Hughes after the match that Rangers were there for the taking that day and they didn't go for the jugular.
We hit the post and the ball ran along the line. You could have put your flag up and said, nah, definitely over the line, but definitely over the line.
No, I wasn't being controversial in my last game, John.
So you've kind of then got, you said to me just before we came on that was your last ever game as a football assistant. Have you got any kind of highs and lows from your time at football? See any games that maybe we didn't know that you'll officiated at?
I would say most of them were all highs. I've done all the derbies. Did the Old Firm, Edinburgh Derby, Dundee Derby, did the New Firm Derby, Morton and the Renfrewshire one, Morton and Mirren.
St Mirren. What would you say was the kind of, I'm going to say best, but I don't mean that as I mean, like, what's the one that's maybe surprised you the most then? Because I know St Mirren Morton's a big derby. Has there been a game, even if you don't know if you've done Falkirk and Fairmont, is there a game that you thought, wow, I didn't expect this?
Yeah, I actually have done Falkirk and Fairmont, and that they actually do hate each other.
Another call coming in.
Aye.
You're a popular man this morning.
Yeah, no, I done lots of derbies and that. I watched the last game I did abroad was a derby, which was Dinamo Zagreb against Dinamo Dumzali, which was Slovenia and Croatia.
Was that the Europa League?
Yeah, no, it was a Champions League qualifier, John.
Oh, nice. So it must have been well thought of then in the football and refereeing world, certainly. You know, if you're getting that kind of the job, if you're being able to go and assist the referee in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's you had to earn that to go and do that, and it had to be that you were trusted enough to do it, that you're not going to do anything crazy or do silly things. And basically, I was there helping. I used to go with Willie Collum quite a lot when he first started. But you were like going there to look after him and make sure everything went okay.
Willie Collum, there's a referee. I think Andrew Jeffrey, we won't keep this about football for him. We will move on to Speedway just shortly, but we did want to get your background, obviously, Willie. But Andrew Jeffrey's also asking if you've done the Hartston-Fairland derby. I think that's a wee dig for that, but we'll maybe move on for that one. So it's Graham Flint is watching us, Willie.
Right.
He's saying it's lovely to see Willie on the TV. Who's the best Speedway referee at the minute?
Me, myself, obviously.
Brilliant, great answer. Great answer.
Willie, Dougie Lyle asks a question. Do you ever look at the Speedway fans forums after a meeting?
No, not really.
Probably.
Can I be honest, Liam, as well? I don't look at them after we've done any of them either, especially when we start. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
No, you make your decision, you stand by it, and you do what you do. So you can't really, if you start reading all that, it'll just play with your head. So you're as well just thinking about it.
Well, how did your interest in Speedway start? Were you a fan beforehand? What was your origins for the sport?
I've been going to Speedway since I was 2 years old. My dad used to take me, and I've always went with my dad to Speedway.
Where did you go first then?
The first team I ever seen was the Monarchs at Coatbridge.
Mm-hmm.
Ride the ride.
Yeah.
My dad just, we followed the Speedway for there. Then I went to Hampden. My dad Hampden, went to Blantyre, went to Shaw, Ashfield. Used to go to Powder Hall, and then obviously now at Armadale as well. I've been going to the Speedway a long, long time.
Did you ever fancy a shot on the bike yourself, Willie, at any point?
Yeah, I fancied it, but it was all down to money, and my mum wouldn't let me as well because she said I was crazy enough without a motorbike.
I have often wondered that, why the mothers go like that. I know it's fine when you go, you jump on the bike. So who got you involved then? You've then moved on to Speedway refereeing from football. Who got you involved in the Speedway refereeing? How did that come around?
Actually, Alan Dick had said to me about it because I used to know him through the football.
Yeah.
And he says, do you not think about it because they're looking for referees? And once I went to a match at Newcastle on a sports pony steel, they gave me all the details. And I thought about it and said, you can do football and Speedway at the same time. Up divorce because you would never be in. So I waited till I knew that I was going to have to retire for football in 2009. So I decided that I would contact and see the friend and I started Speedway when I finished the football, and that's what happened.
So how did it start then for you? So you then decide, look, I'm going to try this Speedway refereeing. Alan Dick's obviously got, right, go speak to Tony Steele. What's to then the next step? So do they say, right, because I remember, like I say, when we were doing the announcing, Jim or some of the referees, whoever it was, would come in and you'd come in and shadow them. Is there a process then of saying, well, for a year, 2 years, you shadow them and watch what goes on?
Yeah, well, you had to send a letter in, like a CV as such, to the FTB, and they kind of vetted you. And then I met Graham Reeve in Glasgow and he interviewed me. Then you had to be given a mentor, so they gave Jim McGregor, which made sense because he was up in Scotland. And I trained all of 2009 and part of 2010. I got my test at 2010 at Birmingham, my final test. and then that was me. You become a probationary referee, so you're allowed to go to the matches that the referee's actually at, and he's still there to the match. And you do that for a few months for matches, and then when they take off being a probationer, and then you're off. So that's doing on your own as awe-inspiring to make a mess of it.
Willie, can you remember what your first match was on your own?
My first match on my own was at Edinburgh, but I can't remember who it was. But it was at Armadale.
And sorry, I was just going to say, the riders tell us, some of them get nervous, some of them don't. Does a referee get nervous before a match?
Some matches you do, yes.
Graham Flint saying, Willie, that he's surprised that you passed as a referee. Is there a bit of beef here that we don't know, a bit of referee beef that we've got?
Aye. Hold on.
So,
okay.
Here you go, Liam.
We've got a question here from Caroline Watson, Willie. Taking off your referee's hat for a minute,
yeah.
Are there any rules that you would like to personally see changed?
The only one that I would say is the digging about at the start line. Because if you watch all the videos way back, that's the thing I would change.
You just have them out the pits and up to the tapes and ready to go almost.
Yeah. And if every track had a clock at the start line or a clock, it stops all that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The second part to our question, has there ever been a time when you felt that no one was to blame for an incident or a crash, but because of the rules you've had to exclude one of them?
Yes. One of them was last season. It was on the TV live. It was Peterborough against Swindon, and I had to exclude Klaus Vissing, and it was a 3-man pile-up, and really who you didn't really know who to blame. So he kind of was the one that maybe started it, so I had to disqualify him. But in that scenario, you probably wouldn't have excluded anyone. You would have put them all back, but on the third bend. So you had to put someone out.
How aware are you of making that decision at that time? Because that must be quite a heavy decision to make.
Yeah, as you just got to keep watching all the replays and make your mind up. But once you make your mind up, you've got to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. See, as Britain's self-proclaimed #1 referee, can you not then just say, look, they've all went into the corner all together, there's no one to blame, I'm not going to exclude anyone?
No,
because do you have to exclude someone? Yes,
you have to, because the rule book doesn't allow you to do that.
And is that something, when Caroline had said, is there anything you want changed? Is there something there when you could say, well, look, genuinely, the two guys are right, there's no one to blame, or would that create too many grey areas?
No, I suppose if it was managed properly, you could bring that in if it happened on the third bend or the fourth bend and there was really no one to blame as such. It's just like a racing incident. You probably, yeah.
Because you could say, you'd have first bend bunching where you've got that in your locker to say, well, I'm just going to bring everyone back. But I guess if you maybe extended that to the first lap, it could be chaos.
Yeah.
Nicky Pedersen would have a field day.
And then people start trying to take advantage of it as well.
Yeah. But I think the first corner, because it's such a kind of bang to the start to the first corner, I think it's sensible to have that. But I suppose they just need to live with the fact that someone has to go, and it's not always going to be the popular decision.
Graham Hunter has got in touch, Willie. Could you ask Willie, when he is awarded a big meeting, like he was with last season's Knockout Cup final, how does he manage not to let the pressure get to him?
I've done big matches at the football. You just don't let the pressure get to you. You've just got to remain calm and be focused.
Do you think there's a bit to be said about having the distance between, because you've obviously worked in football where the players are in your face, and then in a referee's box, you've got that kind of, you can, as people say, stand back from a situation and look in. Do you think that takes a bit of pressure off you?
It does a bit, but Speedway is a lot faster than the football as well, John. So you've got to make decisions pretty quickly, but if a big one, you obviously try and buy yourself a bit of time. But yes, I would agree with you there, yes.
You mentioned earlier about all the sort of the gardening at the tapes. Are you ever tempted to hold the tapes just that little bit, couple of seconds longer because of that? No,
because then that's you playing games with the riders, and they know I wouldn't do that.
And
it's the difference, Liam.
Is there a set time, Willie? Is there a set time that you hold the tapes for before you release them?
It's a minimum of 1.5 seconds.
Right.
But you can go longer if you want to, but if you're fair with the riders and they all know that you're not going to play games with them, they will respect you and they'll all do what they have to do. And I would say 95% of them, with me, they do that. They know that I'll not play games with them.
There's a bit to be said about that as well in any kind of sport, where if you've got that relationship with a referee, or you've got that reputation perhaps as a referee, where you say, like, I'll play the game with you guys, then they won't try and take liberties. Whereas if they know this guy's a clown, he's always playing with us, then they'll bite back at you. But Andrew Jeffrey's a busy man today. He's asked, who's the biggest moaner? No, it's obviously apart from Rory Slime, you've came across in Speedway, phoning the ref's box from the pits, etc.
You just mentioned them.
Was it really? Brilliant. Says everything I've said for years.
Yeah, Rory likes a good moan.
Brilliant. There is nowhere else, so that's fine.
Does it ever make a difference when they call you, Willie? You've made your decision. Is there any point to a rider then fighting their case on the phone?
No. The only time I've ever done it was that I was at Isle of Wight and I disqualified, I think it was the guy, he's the son of the guy for the co-owner at Eastbourne, Mark Dugard's son, Kelsey Dugard. And then I got a phone call for Liam Carr, it was, and he phoned me and says, Wally, that wasn't his fault, it was my fault. And that's the only time I've ever changed my decision, because the rider phoned me and said I'd put the wrong guy out, and they said it was his fault.
Well, not that often in any sport.
That was a good bit of honesty for Liam Carr on his side.
Yeah. Got faith in humanity.
Willie, John and I were talking earlier about, we know what happens when we arrive at the stadium a couple of hours before and have to get set up for the meeting. We watch the riders do the same. Talk us through the referee, a typical Friday night for the referee at Armadale.
When you arrive, you've got to, as soon as you arrive through the gate and sign on the document, that's you in charge of the match or the evening. So you've then got to go and check the track, the safety. The most important thing is the track, the safety. You're checking the fence, the 2 metre zone. There's nothing lying in it that's dangerous. Checking the fence is okay. The air fence is inflated. Checking the track surface. And you need to check all the lights are working and that. You also check the dressing rooms. A lot of people don't know in the pitch you've got to check all the fire extinguishers are in date, tested, and that they're all full and ready to go in case anything happens. But a lot of people don't see that. Then you also do a double check on the team lineups, that the team corresponds with the rule book and that the averages are all correct. So there's quite a bit of work you have to do before the match.
So what time do you arrive at the stadium then to do all that?
2 hours before I arrive, 2 hours. If it's 7:30 start, I'm there at 5:30 or earlier to give you time.
It's a lot of work to be doing, in a fairly short space of time, because you'll have people who naturally want to talk to you, haven't seen you for blah, 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 and you're thinking, like, I've got 2 hours and I've got all this to get through. Do you have a kind of checklist then that you have?
Yeah, I don't have a checklist as such. You just know what to do. So I always track everything first, so that if there is an issue, you've got time to get it rectified and you tell someone right away.
And has there ever been anyone, and you went to a meeting, because obviously the clubs are run fairly professionally and things like that, and you wouldn't really expect, but if you get anybody when he's turning up at a track and being like, wait a minute, this is a problem here and a serious problem, other than obviously the weather?
Yeah, sometimes you have a bit of bother with some things, so you have to put your foot down and just say, I had to do it, I'll not mention the track, but I did do it.
Oh, come on, names, Willie.
I told them that if they didn't get it done, I wasn't running the match. And then they realised about how serious I was, so they got the fences changed. Miraculously, they found new boards and everything to do it, and it only took taking about 20 minutes. But people just chance their arm all the time, push you to see how far they can push you.
Once you get into the meeting itself, Willie, you're in the box. What is the process up there?
You're just putting the two minutes on to try and keep the match flowing as you can. And obviously you have tractor breaks and track breaks, but you just try and keep it flowing as you can, because at any point there could be an accident which costs you half an hour or more or whatever, or any hearted. You just try and keep the match flowing as you can.
I think on that as well, I noticed there seems to be a difference in Scotland and England. When you go to matches at Edinburgh and at Glasgow, there seems to be a kind of natural flow. They just want to, not say they just want to get through the meeting, that's not true. But they want to keep the meeting flowing. They understand the fans are there to see the racing, and they do that. Down south, it seems to be they want to have intervals and this, that and the next thing. Do you notice a big difference between refereeing up here and refereeing down there?
Yeah, as a bit down south, if they want to drag the match out.
Yeah.
But I always say to the riders, I try to keep it going as best I can. So the track does, you don't lose the track. If it's like a hot sunny day, you want the track to stay moist and everything, and if you try and get through it as best you can, you don't lose the track as such.
And why do you think they want to drag it out? Why do you think that is? I've always found it bizarre.
To get more people to go to the bar and things, that's what I think.
So they maybe own their stadiums and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then they're also trying to make it like a family day out, as they're spending as money as they can at their place. That's my opinion.
How, Willie, when you're in the box, it must be a fairly intense time, because I know John and I watch the races from the tower, and there's times when we miss things. I mean, how intense is it trying to actually, you concentrate on 4 riders at once? One might be halfway around the track before the other one is, and you're having to keep an eye on all 4 of them just in case there's an incident. I mean, how intense does that get, and how easy is it?
Yeah, well, it isn't easy to spread out like that, but it is, as you say, Liam, very intense. And you have to be concentrated all the time, and it does drain you. But after, when you're finished, you feel you have to concentrate on that hard.
Have there ever been matches you've kind of felt relieved and you go, that one's over?
Yeah, especially the Glasgow Edinburgh ones.
Well, that's funny you mention that, because I was going to ask you, you've obviously refereed, and we spoke about derbies in football earlier on. Do you ever look at the fixtures and the fans go, oh, brilliant, Glasgow, Edinburgh on this day, Edinburgh, Glasgow. Do you look at it and go, oh no? Or do you get excited for it?
No, I just like it. It's just like a derby, but it's just like the football as well. Everybody's up for it, and the riders are wanting to do their best. So you have to get all that up when you make any decisions.
Do you feel like, as a referee, look at, and I know it's maybe a bit difficult for you because you've watched Speedway in Scotland for so many years, but can you tell refereeing the match that there's a bit of needle there, or is it kind of a lot of it maybe just the fans kind of making it like that?
No, sometimes there is a bit of needle between some of the riders, and you just have to be aware of it, that this maybe happened the last time, or when they rode for some other clubs or whatever, there's a little bit of needle. So you just keep that in the back of your mind.
Do the referees all talk after matches? Do they all have a wee chat about, oh, watch out for this, or watch out for that, or that happened, or as you say, a bit of needle here you need to be aware of?
Yeah, well, I keep in touch with Jim McGregor and Graham Flint and Graham Hunter. So we always have a little chat about what we've seen and what we've done. So yes, I would say yes. You would say, "Oh, watch this happened or that happened. Watch this guy or watch that guy." Yes.
And how often is James Sargent rolling at the start mentioned in your group chats?
None. He doesn't roll when I'm doing them. That's a balance. James, if you watch all the videos and everything, James Sargent is actually a very good starter and he's very quick.
I totally agree with you.
That makes him look as if he's rolling.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's actually a very, very good gator who gets punished for being actually very, very good at what he does. Yeah.
But for him being good at what he does, he makes the other ones look bad. So makes him stand out.
It's kind of like Liam and I with Nigel and Kelvin.
I never have a problem with Sarge. I got on okay with him. He's a nice guy to talk to as well.
Kenny Crichton is asking, why are riders given another 2 minutes when someone has moved? When the tapes go up, they should go back immediately. No need to go back to the pits.
It says that in the book. You've got to do that. And they always put these down as well.
Sorry, I don't know about you, John. I'm getting a slight delay here.
Yeah, just more of a break-up now. Sorry, Kev, what's
so
that answer again? Sorry, Willie.
Yeah, let me ask you that again, Willie. There was a wee bit break-up there. Why are riders given another 2 minutes, says Kenny Crichton? When someone is moved, when the tapes go up, they should go back immediately. No need to go back to the pits.
Because you have to give them 30 seconds before you put the 2 minutes back on, and that's in trouble. Give them another 2 minutes.
Right.
If you didn't put the 2 minutes on, they would all mess about anyway. So you're better just putting it back on to get them back round.
Yeah.
Have there been any memorable incidents for you, Willie, that you've kind of something's happened and you've had to make a big decision and you've thought, you know, I've got that spot on, or otherwise have there been any instance where you've thought, oh, wait a minute, maybe in hindsight, I've got that one wrong?
One that I always sticks in my mind was at Workington. I was doing a double header. In the second match, the first match was working in Glasgow, and in Heat 2, Chris Mills through the fence and hit the wall, and we had to get the air ambulance. Well, I was conscious that of the time factor. We had to try and get the 2 matches done to get for the points as well. So I had to phone Alec Carcass, who then was the SPA chairman, to ask him would it be okay to go both matches to 12 heats or whatever we put in, so we could get both matches done. The other team was already there as well, and we took a lot of to and fro. We eventually agreed that's what we did, and that always sticks in my mind. We did that, we got both matches done.
We better thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Willie, when the weather turns bad during a meeting and there's that question about whether mid-meeting the meeting continues or it gets called off, obviously the riders now all have a lot of say in, you know, whether or not they want to ride and that, but it's still ultimately your decision as referee. What is it you're looking at and what is it you're looking for from the riders and from the track when you make that decision?
Well, you're looking to see if the track is race. It's always rideable, but maybe raceable. So you have to take that into account and take in. I always look at who the riders are as well, because you can get Craig Cook in the race. You can have like a novice as well, and there's certain riders that you speak to, and you would ask them for their opinion. And most riders are kind of go on okay, we'll give you a proper, honest opinion. And and at the end of the day, it's easy to be up in the box pushing buttons. I'm not going around the scenery, so I always take that side as well. That I'm singing for the same seat as the riders.
And who's the biggest one then? Where you're down there and you reckon it's going to be you're looking at that. Will it be a rain off? Won't it be a rain off? And you're just like, they're at it. They want this rained off. You've no idea why they want it rained off, but they want it rained off.
You just have to then make a decision and make them race. If you think the track's okay, so you'll always get some riders that want to ride and some riders that don't. You have to kind of use your brains and get in the middle and just decide.
And going forward, if we get any Speedway this year, Willie,
Yes.
the referee obviously is in charge of the meeting from the time you sign that bit of paper. Will your duties also now have to take in social distancing, the stadium, the safety of the post-COVID environment is operated?
To be honest, I don't know, because the SDP or the APU would need to have a COVID policy, which I'm not sure if they have one or not. It all depends on what the government guidelines are. Whatever they are, it may be different in England and Scotland.
Yeah.
So he would need to have like a COVID policy, and it may do more checks for the COVID-19.
And on that, what's your opinion? You know, I'm not looking for kind of any background knowledge or anything like that, but what's your just opinion on? Do you think we will see any racing this year, and if so, in what kind of format?
My honest opinion was I would just not have any racing at all, and have it that you start next season from afresh, everybody, and have the they've had this year. Because if it goes down to 1 metre distancing, how do you police that? And if there's any sort of play, how can you have a crowd there? And I know they don't get lots of crowds, but you still have police.
Yeah. Because Liam and I had spoken during the week about this and how we felt it maybe could work. And one thing was, obviously all the vans and everything are parked outside, and you open that area at the pits, and you open that kind of what would be the first and second bend, the banking, the greyhound track kind of bit there, so the guys have all got plenty of space to be in the pits, so they're not as bunched up perhaps as they are just now. And I guess you could always say there's a way around everything. But what even about kind of, I know from an Edinburgh point of view, you've got Sam and Josh over in Australia and Kai there as well. You've got Lassie in Norway. Getting these guys here would be difficult. What even about the Dale Devils or something like that? Do you think that would be even possible? Or are you of the opinion, and again, it's just opinion, that you think, look, nah, not this year?
I would like to see it, yes, but then you've got guys travelling, even if the Dale Devils teams coming up from England, so they're then crossing the border, which is a bit of an issue at the moment, and then they're travelling back to places, as you heard last week. Esther was getting closed down because of the outbreak, and then there was a thing about pubs in Somerset area. You never know. Me personally, as I said, I would just look for this season and that, move forward and start next. Sorry, I think if we stopped it, and it'll make the fans next season really up for it and really want to come back.
Is there a meeting looking back, Willie? Have you got a meeting that's the highlight of your refereeing career, Speedway wise? Is there one meeting that you look back on and think that was it, that was the moment, that was the one I enjoyed the most?
The one I enjoyed the most a few years ago was the Elite Playoff final when it was Wolverhampton against Bellevue at Bellevue. That was the big one I've done so far.
Do you feel a little bit of history when you do one like that? Because I mean, the riders all feel that they've made a bit of Speedway history. The referee's there as well. He's making a bit of that history too.
Yeah, but you're just as normal. It's just another match.
So we got another message in from Graham Hunter. If you've had an incident with a rider or team manager before, for example, where he's made comments about you on the PA or in the press, is there ever in the back of your mind next time you referee them? So are you a bitter man, Willie, or do you let these things go?
No, you let these things go.
Do you think there should be more of a voice for referees? I know, obviously, your football background as well. There's more, you know, you listen to Sports Scene and all these sort of things, Sports Sound Off the Ball, and they always, especially Tam Cowan's champion, and, you know, they want to hear the referees kind of side of things. I'd like to see that more in football, and I think in Speedway, there's probably even more of a chance of it than there would be in football. Do you think the referee should have more of a voice and in saying, look, and like you said earlier on when you speak to the riders, I came to this decision because of X, Y, Z?
Yes, to a degree, but it depends when they would do it, because most folk would want to do it like right after the match. When it
in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, so I agree with yes, because as I said, I try and explain it to riders, and I got on with most of the riders, and you can speak to people, and everybody thinks you're aloof and you're up there. Bridges the gap and lets people see that you're human, and you're just one of the fan as much. But I agree with you, yes, there could be more dialogue.
And how do you think that would come about, though? How do you think, would that be an interview on the Speedway Star and, you know, online, or would, you know, is it an interview after the meeting? Probably, as you've just kind of said, in the heat of the battle is probably not the best time.
It could probably get done through the Speedway press office sort of thing. You could probably do it through that. The same idea as what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Tell us about the travelling involved, Willie. You must travel some miles over a year.
Yeah, you do. So most times you try and tie in your matches. You have to take it off work to tie in. I was going to Wolverhampton. You would have to take a half day off. You're even at midday to get there, and then you're not back at half in the morning, back up at 6 and work. But a lot of people feel that. Or if you go on a tour, you could maybe do like Poole, Isle of Wight, and then Plymouth or something. You've got to take your holiday to those. So there is me especially, because I live up here. There's a lot of travelling. My nearest track is Glasgow. Then after that, 5 miles, Eric, 1 week, then Newcastle, and then the next week, Manchester, and further down. So there is a lot of travelling.
You must have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Helpful, certainly, at least employer, if it will allow you to take the time off to go and do what you need to do as well with your Speedway.
Yeah, you do. But when it's not the Speedway season, you return the favours.
And you must have kept your passion? Well, obviously you were a fan before of Speedway. You became a referee. Has that sort of like boosted your passion for the sport, or has it dampened it at all, or does it wane? Does it come and go?
I would say it comes and goes, Lee. Yeah, it comes and goes. But I just like doing good racing.
Yeah, you still get a chance to. I know you're saying that you watch the meeting and you're intense, you're scared you miss something almost. Do you still enjoy the meeting? Do you still enjoy the racing?
Yes, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. If you see a good race, you think that's a really good race, and you see with where a map advantage point you're probably the same. You can riders trying differently and see how they're going to do it because you're up that little bit higher. Yeah, it's good.
Willie, can you ever watch a match just as a fan these days without automatically going into referee mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to see good racing. I like watching.
Yeah.
And how hard is it not to criticise the other referees?
No, it's not hard. Just don't do it. Do yourself.
on the phone to your pal Flinty going like that. Have you got your specs on, mate? What's going on? He's been back on the text. There's a couple here that I want to ask you about. He says, surprisingly, referees are human. Will Willie have his dancing shoes on in the Lizard King in Torin on the 2nd of October?
Yes, that's the answer.
I dare ask what that involves. A lot of drinking and a lot of dancing.
The Lizard King is the local nightclub in Torrent, and we always meet up with the Berwick crew there and have a laugh.
Do you see on that? Do you notice you feel you can meet up with the fans of the club? I see you say Berwick. I'm assuming you mean their fans and all that as well. Do you always feel that Speedway still, thankfully, has that balance where, you know, fans and referees and riders, all that sort of stuff can meet, can mingle, and there's not any, I don't want to say nastiness, but there's not kind of, you know, everyone just gets along and they want to have a good time.
Yeah, I got on great with it. There's a crew of them for Berwick, Corrine and Karen and Marty, and we meet all them in Lizard King, we meet them in Torrin. Torrin's like a small town as well, so you always meet lots of riders as well. Just have a bit of banter with them, because you're only there for the weekend, you're on holiday as such.
Any aspirations of Grand Prix refereeing?
No, I'm too old, mate.
Away.
You've got to be an FIM referee, I think it's by the time you're 45, so I'm okay past that.
Oh, well. Graham McCleary asks, or says, thanks once again for 2006-2007 from everyone at Berwick Rangers FC.
Yeah, I was the linesman that day when Berwick won the league, and I disallowed a goal for our growth.
Was it the correct call?
Yes.
Of course. Britain's number one referee, wouldn't they make the wrong call? See, on the travelling as well, sorry, just going back to that, have you got the advantage that you've ever had, you know, with the riders need to bring bikes, mechanics, tools, all that sort of stuff? Have you ever had the advantage of saying, well, I can jump on the plane and fly to Poole or something like that, or Southampton, and take in that way, or is it always just driving?
I always just drive, because if you do that, you've then still got to hire a car to get from the airport to the track. And then if you're on a tour, you might have another match. So if it was a one-off and you knew it was going to happen, yes, you probably could. But I always just go to the car, John.
Anything, Liam?
Willie, how does it feel when you make a decision at any track and you hear a negative reaction, shall we say, from the crowd? Does that ever affect you? Does that ever worry you? Do you ever second guess yourself at that point?
No, you just let it go, because then that would be good. Yourself and playing mind games. You just have to stay really strong.
I suppose there's also an element. There's almost an element as well of pantomime in there, isn't there? Where, you know, it's the thing to do is to be the referee.
Yeah. No, you just make the decision with it.
See, we've had Bert Harkins on a few weeks ago, and he was talking about the camaraderie went on in the kind of promotion of the event. So the burning of the hats and the jumping off the towers into the small pools. As a referee, and obviously as part of the show, would you rather there was more going on for the supporters, or are you quite happy not? Let's make it about the racing.
No, it's about the whole thing in general, and the racing's there, but it's also a family event, an event as such, so I don't have a good flat, and I would always work along with the promotion. If they say we're going to do this or that, then you just go, it's all part of work, and you're part of the deal, aren't you?
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, Willie, it's been a fascinating kind of insight into your side of things. Is there anyone before we go you'd like to thank and say, look, you know, for helping you get to where you've got to? Just
everybody in Speedway. There's not anybody in specific, but a lot of people have helped me, and a lot of people have given support and supply me, so it's good to help people as well.
Good.
And is there anything you would like to say to the fans that they need to remember, you know, when you're making a decision that they might not agree with? Is there anything you'd like to say to them about that?
Well, you're not specifically doing it to rub anyone the wrong way. You're just giving what you need from where you are. Yeah, but where my vantage point is, yours can be different scenarios. I can only give what I need where I am.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Willie, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for joining us and giving your side of the Speedway picture, if you like. He's got the Grant Henderson Tankers Cup in there, a wee bit of sponsorship. I like that, Willie. Grant was, he does a lot for Speedway, so he's more than welcome to get his plug in there. Next week, we have a very special guest joining us. We're having to move the slot to 7 o'clock, so it'll be Sunday dinner with Alex Harkis. So join us from 7 o'clock next Sunday night. Liam and I will be discussing all things Speedway with Alex, and probably by the time we finish with him, Liam, we will past our bedtime.